Attack on Titan rocked the world back in 2013 with its visceral, bloody combat and incredible plot twists. Season 2 doubled down on the twists by telling us the origins of the Titans and revealing the secret identities of the Armored and Colossal Titans, and of course introducing a couple of new human-based Titans, including the fearsome Beast Titan. Nonetheless, Season 3 had some Titan-sized shoes to fill, and I wanted to take the opportunity to review what we got in Season 3 so far, and what we might be able to expect when Season 3 comes back in April. Now, when reviewing a season, you need to keep in mind that it does not exist in a vacuum. There will be people who wait until the series concludes and binge the whole thing, or we may have some late adopters who watched Seasons 1 through 3 in one sitting. Others, like myself, will watch every week. Your method for watching the show will change your opinion, so keep that in mind throughout the video. And of course, let me know how you guys experience Attack on Titan. First, let me tell you about my view. I personally don't read the manga, I strictly watch the anime. This is because I prefer to see the action play out on screen instead of on paper. I also like to hear the characters react to major plot points and reveals rather than reading it in the manga, and having minor or major plot points spoiled before I even watch the show. So that's my viewpoint, so let's get started. Today, we'll be looking at the most important moments from Season 3 so far. The events can be broken down into 3 major categories: action sequences, flashbacks, and reveals. As far as action goes, we got 3 major sequences. First was the initial battle between Kenny and Levi's forces in episode 39. This sequence set the theme for the rest of the season. The once respected scouts are now being hunted down by Kenny and his corrupted members of the internal police. This was a great addition to the series. Kenny is the first major villain or antagonist to the series. The evil human-hosted Titans were more like threats. The show never really explained their goals or explored anything about their personality, and as such, they're basically just monsters and living threats, more so than an actual villain. Kenny not only has his history with Levi, but he's also the right-hand man of Rod Rice, Season 3's major threat. And this leads us to our second action sequence in the cave beneath the Rice residence. Here we got to see a rematch between Kenny and Levi's squads, but this time, Levi's squad has the upper hand, with prepared bombs and a new leader in the form of Hanji. She's a great choice for replacing Erwin. She's smart, funny, and was well developed throughout the first 2 seasons. Shortly after the cave sequence, we get the Titan Rod sequence. This nasty bugger crawls for miles until he finally reaches the wall. I was expecting a massive battle with significant casualties to really illustrate his power, but instead, we get a very brief sequence where Rod is bombarded with cannon fire and finally Titan Eren shoves a giant bomb in his face, blowing his skull into smithereens while Historia gets the final blow. Although I wasn't crazy about how this sequence was handled, it actually holds significant thematic importance. It shows that Historia is no longer allied with her father and has proven to the people that she's worthy of becoming queen, ending the military coup by killing her own father. Next, let's discuss the flashbacks, and there were a ton this time. The major ones were Rod's explanation of how his family's power works, Commander Sadie's informing us about Eren's parents, which we had really been waiting for, and finally Erwin introduced us to his father, and all of these were intertwined. Eren's father, Mr. Smith, had discovered that the Rice family had the unique ability to change people's thoughts and memories. Grisha gets involved by murdering the Rice family in his Titan form and eating the former holder of the Rice family power, which is subsequently passed down to Eren when he eats his father, so you can see their power is kind of going down the rabbit hole. These memories were locked behind Eren's subconscious until Historia places her hand on his back during the cave sequence. This is a really smart way of revealing everyone's backstory, as it means we, the audience, become privy to this information at the same time that Eren does. This lets us appreciate Eren's distress as he tries to come to terms with what has just happened. Eren wishes he would just die and end his suffering as he cannot cope with what his father has done. Eren has always been troubled, but this new information spirals him into a depression, the likes of which we hadn't seen since he lost his comrades in the forest back in Season 1. As for reveals, we learned the identity of the Beast Titan, Kenny's last name, and Eren now has the ability to harden. All of this information will definitely be important in the next half of Season 3, and it's really hard to believe that we got all of this in just 12 episodes, but I actually think that is the problem with Season 3. Season 3 really struggled with pacing. They had so much plot to get through, but only 12 episodes to do it. We had several episodes where about 80% or more was just exposition, and then there's a big reveal towards the end, and then you had, in some cases, as little as 30 seconds to absorb it all. This effect does work as a great way of building excitement for the next episode, but it makes the episode in question move pretty slowly. Obviously, some episodes move quicker than others, but I can't help but feel that spreading out all this information over maybe 24 episodes and sprinkling in more action sequences would have maybe given us a better balance overall. Now remember, Season 3 is not over. It's coming back in April. Well, at least in name, it's still Season 3. They could just call it Season 4, as it's the same amount of time between Season 2 and Season 3. It just means that we're going to pick up right where we left off, which is good because we didn't really get any closure, just a really solid teaser at the end of episode 49. We see Mikasa, Levi, and a post-Titan Eren on a rooftop, likely searching for the infamous basement that we have been anxiously waiting to find. But something has gone wrong, and we see internal struggle take place, and that has me excited for what comes next. The scouts are going back into Titan-infested territory, and it looks like the evil Titans will be making an appearance as well. This was honestly one of the things that Season 3 was missing the most. We really didn't get to see a lot of Titans in Attack on Titan. I think this was actually a huge missed opportunity. Season 2 was all about this massive build-up with these human-hosted Titans, especially the Beast Titan, who had a lot of potential to be a great villain, and then they just drop off the earth. We catch a quick glimpse of them towards the end of the season, and again in the teaser, and that's it. Bottom line is that Season 3 was full of great moments, but struggled to fill the gaps in between those incredible moments. I think it's time to go back to the series' roots, with well-paced action, very dramatic reveals, and luckily, I think that's what we're gonna get when Season 3 comes back. Season 3 has left me excited for what comes next, but not particularly thrilled with what we got. Again, there were lots of great things here, but I was also bored a lot of the time. But again, that's just my opinion, and I know my taste will be different than many of yours, so let me know how you guys felt by leaving a like and a comment below, and we can kind of compare ideas. I definitely want to hear from you, especially if your opinions are different than mine. Now, I post a lot of gaming concept stuff, but you can expect some anime and anime game content in the future, so subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that stuff. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon.